I felt a lot of unmapped and unexpected country within me, and determined to launch an expedition to discover self-understanding. My launching pad was an often loved but sometimes maligned California pepper tree. The tree stood in the vacant lot next to my grandmother's small, impoverished cottage, and to my knowledge the tree enjoyed little, if any, maintenance, but it retained its vibrant color throughout the year. It successfully resisted any pest attacks. Some thoughtful person had created a swing with a sturdy, thick rope and a generous-sized wooden seat to one of the large branches of the tree. And on that swing, I could be transformed back in time to faraway lands like biblical Persia, and explore my own forest of feelings and emotions. Gradually, the area under the tree became my kingdom, my psychological kingdom, and the rope and wooden seat my throne. I could literally retreat to the kingdom in times of difficulty and even joy. The kingdom helped me deal with my lack of self-realization. I married a young lady by the name of Maheen when I was in college. I kept looking for myself and self-realization, but I was never sure I had found it. Throughout college, I searched, I tried many things, did many things, finally married a young lady. She was from Iran, and this was almost an answer to my prayer. And that prayer had been, I would love to visit that country. And her name was Maheen, and we enjoyed some 48 years of marital bliss. I could consult with her. She often served as my counselor. I more or less forgot about my pursuit of self-realization while I was married to her. I had found it in marriage. I thought I knew who I was and who I would become. My confidence in assumed self-realization seemed to fade one morning at 3 a.m., some 8 years ago, when the telephone beside my bed rang. I put the receiver to my ear and heard an unknown voice say, "Your wife passed away a few minutes ago." This short sentence shook me and brought me to a moment of clarity. I was alone. I began to doubt who I was or would be without my longtime partner. My idyllic life, I thought, had ended. My chaotic marriage had been uprooted. I was certain I would need to grieve for years and forego any happiness for sorrow. Loneliness would be my routine. Love would be forgotten. How could I again begin my search for myself, isolated and alone? I wondered. The only way I could conceive of beginning my search was to retrace my journey prior to marriage, map my progress during the marriage, and establish a base for my future psychological travels. To establish such a base, I felt I needed to embrace the moment and acknowledge who I was, or who at least I thought I was. I would have to forget about predicting who I could be until I had become, or had been, who I had known I was, or who I thought I was. I welcomed this moment of clarity. It had great impact on me and included life-changing implications. The future I had seen for myself a few days before had suddenly changed. The niggling issues of the recent past had become insignificant, at least for the moment. The question I suddenly asked myself was this: how can I use this epiphany